Every new mom needs to go into motherhood knowing this with a newborn because it's truly a game changer. Once they get to that state, it's so much harder to put them down for a nap. Dr. Brown's newborn bottles versus the Event newborn bottles, 10 out of 10. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be here with you guys another week. Survived another week with a newborn, very exciting. And today I wanted to share 5 things I believe every mom with a newborn should know. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, every new mom needs to go into motherhood knowing this with a newborn because it's truly a game changer, and that's understanding wake windows. Wake windows basically just means the time that the baby's awake before he or she starts getting cranky and needs to go down for a nap again. Newborns stay up for anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes on average. Every newborn is different, so really just pay attention to tired cues. Tired cues could be your baby yawning. Some babies get like red brows, which is so cute when they get tired. Others just get cranky. And if they start crying cranky, that means that they've already passed that wake window limit of 60 to 90 minutes, and you probably should have put them down a little bit earlier, because once they get to that state, it's so much harder to put them down for a nap. And this is just on a regular day. This is not including when they are on a growth spurt or going through a milestone, because as we all know, those sleep regression times, everything goes out the window. Right now, I am going through a sleep regression, which is a 6-week sleep regression that can last up to 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it has not been easy. That aside, knowing the wake window has really changed the game for me. With my first, it took me too long to understand and really incorporate the wake window. I was told by the pediatrician that, you should not put your baby on a schedule, which I totally agree. You should not put your baby on a schedule when they're that young. But to me, this is not a schedule. To me, this is understanding how long they can stay up before they get tired. And it's really up to them to tell you. So I'm not putting him down every 60 minutes, for example. This varies, when he gets tired, when I notice he gets tired, I put him down. But I notice that it's anywhere between that window. And I think understanding that allows you to look out for them being tired around that time frame versus being completely clueless and then just kind of going through the day and the baby all of a sudden, has not napped for hours and is extremely cranky. And as we all know and probably have been there, it's just not a good time. Know your wake window for your baby, and I promise you it will make your life so much easier. Number 2, swaddles. The importance of a good swaddle is not talked about enough. I saved my first son's swaddles to use with our next baby, and as we know, when babies are swaddled, the reason why they're swaddled is because of their reflex. So they're just kicking and trying to move around, and that normally wakes them up. So the tighter you have them in a swaddle, it kind of resembles them being in the womb, and that allows them to sleep better and for longer periods of time without waking up. Now, if you are to get a swaddle from another baby that was passed on to your new baby, that swaddle is going to be more likely than not loose from all the kicks and moving. And that is what happened to us. We had to buy all new swaddles for Vincent because Kate and Swaddles were completely loose. They were just useless. Honestly, it did not work. So please do yourself a favor and invest in a good swaddle. I will link the ones that I like below. It's called Swaddle Me, I believe, and they are just such good quality, like really thick. And I think there are lighter ones too for like summertime, but just like really firm so that, you know, if the baby's kicking and moving around, nothing is moving, which makes a world of a difference. Invest in a good swaddle. You will not regret it. On that note, I also wanted to mention the Dr. Brown's newborn bottles versus the Event newborn bottles. When the time came, I hadn't purchased the Event newborn bottles yet, and we had the Dr. Brown's from my firstborn. So we decided, okay, since we have it here already, let's try it out. Maybe it was just, you know, Caden didn't take to it. Vincent might, you never know. We tried the Dr. Brown's bottle. Again, not a good experience. The biggest difference for me that I noticed with the Event bottle versus the Dr. Brown's bottle when I bought the Event is, one, it's just easier to clean. It's smaller, it's wider, smaller. So it's just easier in general. The little placement that you put inside the bottle is easier to clean as well, which is nice because the Dr. Brown's one is just such a pain in the neck to clean. So this is much easier to clean as well. I noticed that Vincent took to the bottle much better than the Dr. Brown's, and he had less spit ups, to the point where I actually noticed the bubbles, like the air bubbles that makes them get gassy and, you know, cranky. I've noticed that the air bubbles actually stay like in the bottle, you know, so I never ever noticed that with the Dr. Brown's bottle. Again, this is not to talk-ish about Dr. Brown's bottle. I know a lot of people are die-hard on that brand, but to me personally, it did not work out well. I didn't have a good experience. This is the second time that I tried it, and I went with Event. And again, I'm very satisfied with the Event. I highly recommend trying them immediately. I don't think you're going to regret it. I know every baby's different though, so please don't come at me if it doesn't work out. This is just my personal experience, and yeah, I just overall think Event 10 out of 10. Another thing I think if you're a new mom to a newborn is important for you to know, just in case you're going through it right now, because it's a difficult thing to go through. If you have a colic baby, they tell you that there's just no solution, that it is what it is. Anything could be causing that issue of them being cranky, gassy. Normally it means they're super gassy, I think, and just cranky because of that, and you try everything and nothing works. Well, we had a similar scenario here in our household, and it was really, really difficult to deal with, and we tried everything, nothing worked. If you are bottle feeding, then I would suggest trying the AR formula from Enfamil. I will link it below for you guys too. AR stands for added rice, and it's supposed to make the formula a little bit thicker, and it's supposed to help reduce spit ups and air bubbles so the baby is not as gassy. And they're able to just digest the formula easier. The formula is not cheap, okay? But if you are struggling right now, if your baby is struggling, I highly recommend trying it. I know that pediatricians normally will give you a sample. So like if you want to just get a sample first to see if it works before you invest in buying the formula, I would suggest doing so, but it was a game changer for us. Once we switched to the AR Enfamil, I swear it was night and day. The spit ups were night and day. He's not as gassy. He's sleeping better, or was sleeping better, because right now we're in a 6-week sleep regression, going on week 2. So yeah, it's been a struggle, but you know, that is, as we know, sleep regressions, nothing everything goes out the window because really nothing works. It's just really a tough time getting them to sleep. But otherwise, aside from regressions, he's doing amazing, and I think it's really helped us all in all. And honestly, just the stress of it all, it was so worth the money. You could probably find it anywhere. We, I think, bought ours at Walmart because that was the only place available at the time. I think they do like sell out fast. I'm sure a lot of people know about them, but I had no idea. So I wanted to come on here and share that tip with you guys as well. Lastly, I want to share about the tracker that we use, because this tracker actually is a tracker you can share with your spouse or significant other, so you both can see how the day is going. So for example, I'm a stay-at-home mom, my husband's working, but he can see on the app how the day is going without me even saying anything. He can see how much Vincent was fed today, if he's sleeping, if he skipped a nap, you know, all the things, they're all there. And it's important to do that for you, especially because you want to make sure you kind of get a grasp of how the day is going. You know, if you're having a good day, like how long did he nap for? How long, you know, how much did he feed? Like, did he feed enough today? And so on. So I found this app extremely helpful for figuring out his wake windows, figuring out, you know, how like his pattern with naps, and also how much he's feeding throughout the day. Those are essential to me, and I think that relying on memory is just not possible. At least for me, my memory is just the worst. And honestly, I don't have time to write things down right now. So just going on the app and just clicking, boom, boom, woke, sleeping, fed, so much easier. It's night and day. The app is called Baby Tracker app, and it's completely free. This is not sponsored. Everything I'm talking about here isn't sponsored, by the way. It's just really my opinion, my experience, things that I truly love and believe 100% will help you in some way, shape, or form. Hope this video was helpful, and if it was, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a mom friend, and I will see you next time.